Dear entrepreneurs, it's Roberto, and hustle is a lifestyle.
When I think about all the stuff that I'm working on and all the things that I don't make time for, I realize how much of my success is built on really deciding where to allocate my time.
I don't really believe or buy into the narrative that success is about sacrificing everything or sacrificing everything on the altar of success. I used to believe that. I used to believe that very much, but I've really changed my mind about that because the things that I feel that I've put off or given up in order to be successful right now, I don't consider those things to be a sacrifice because I do not and did not value them more than what I actually did. When I think about this time that I'm spending with all of you, I don't regret it for a minute. I don't feel like I would rather be spending this time playing video games or shooting hoops or, out partying with girls. Well, maybe just a little bit the out partying with girls. Let's be real here. Maybe just a little bit that. But the reality is that even when it comes to that, when it comes to the dating and the relationship stuff, for me, as part of that lifestyle, I don't want to have to choose between things. And so I've come to the conclusion that personally, I need to find someone that balances me, in that regard and is part of that same lifestyle, part of that same culture, if you will, of hustle and, fits me there, because then I don't have to read that girl into those things. I don't have to explain why it might be more important for me to go to a speaking engagement or to hop on a call or to go do a workshop than to Netflix and chill or something like that. And I don't even really get what that is, by the way. I'm really new on this particular pop culture phenomenon. I think it's the new age equivalent of what used to be a Blockbuster night.
Making these videos and having these conversations with you guys is part of the process of the work for everything that I'm trying to build into my long-term agenda and legacy goals.
Even doing the one-on-one coaching and consulting, even though it's a super practical thing for me to do from a business standpoint, right now, I'm doing one-on-one coaching, and unless I'm running a deal, I'm doing these one-on-one video conference sessions at $297 for an hour of my time, plus whatever I put into research prior to and follow-up afterward. It's worth it for me because what people don't understand, and I've been told by a lot of my friends and my contemporaries in the business and marketing world that I'm selling it too cheaply, and what they don't understand as much until I tell them is that for me, I'm investing in my understanding of other human beings, other businesses, other business models, challenging myself to be able to provide value for as many people as I possibly can, and that I'm using this data and this insight that I'm gathering from these other people to become more self-aware in my own entrepreneurship journey, but then also to learn how to apply strategies and tactics and skills to bigger level stuff that I plan to do by understanding the business of others. So it gives me insight, it gives me access, it gives me data, and it gives me the ability to apply my problem solving skills in a whole different way, and it's raising the game for me. It's upping my caliber. I've never felt so focused, so aware, so informed in my life as I have through the process of doing these last 30 plus consulting sessions for the new year. It's done a lot to give me insight into how effective everything that I've talked about and executed internally actually is, how it's practical for other people, and it's been a real great way to validate and verify everything that I knew worked for me as it applies to the context of other people. So I think that data is important, and I think it's more important to do that and to have that process of the work than to allocate that time to some other internal goal. A lot of people are really on me about I should do an info product because of how scalable that is and because I have the authority and reputation. They're not wrong, and I get it, but I still am trading time not really for money, but I'm using that money to offset the value of that time of the investment of learning. For me, this is still getting further ahead and more educated and more informed, and it's my same version of trying to outread people vis-a-vis the fact that I listen to an audiobook end to end once a week, and I'm reading a physical book about 2 to 3 times in a month now. So I'm over-indexing there, and a lot of people would think that that's information overload, but you have to be self-aware about how you process, and people don't remember my childhood as a kid that I used to grind out a book every other day.
When I think about my key areas of focus in the business right now, with a lot of that being around working on the Just Create Awesome book, around growing my networking relationships, around working with other brands, about doing these interviews, there's a bigger game that I'm playing than most people would realize, because I've incorporated so much of this into my lifestyle, and that is why hustle is not a word to me.
Hustle is about leaving it all on the floor, leaving nothing on the table and not having regrets, because for me, it's back to sports. It's back to what I knew as a track and field and cross country runner. It's about the fact that I know I'm moving with a sense of purpose toward a clearly defined goal with urgency. And that's what hustle means to me. That is what it's about. It's about, getting it in. It's about putting in the work and doing those extra 20 crunches when you've already hit the pre-assigned goal, about going that extra mile. It's about me, while everybody's flirting with the girls team, about me doing double bleachers and outworking them, because I wasn't born with the natural talent to be the best runner on the team, but I worked my way and earned my way to captain by being willing to outwork everybody else, to out-train everyone else, to overcome my natural weaknesses and index on my strength of willpower, that I will will myself to victory a lot further and a lot sooner than somebody who's just going to skate on their talent or on the opportunities that were presented or put in front of them or on their birthright. While they're doing that, I literally will grind while they're sleeping. I will grind while they're slacking. I will grind while they are whining. And that's my choice and that's my lifestyle. It is not for everybody, and I don't think that everybody is served by it, but I do think having just a little bit of that in you can take you a lot further, and it's a long way that you can go based off of sheer force of will. Talent matters. Oh, it really does. But if you at least have a little bit of talent, but you are willing to put in a lot of hard work, I guarantee you'll get further than someone with a tremendous amount of talent and no work ethic. Hard work and hustle is something that people praise out of their mouth, but they disrespect it in their actions. We've come to a point in our society and in our culture where hustle is a negative word, because all people want to think is that if you hustle and you live that life like so many of us do here, especially on YouTube and social media and the marketing and business world and in the startup world, they think that it's wrong for that to come at the expense of having fun in your youth, it comes at the expense of not being a real human being and not having relationships. And look, that's something that you guys know from my New Year's resolution video and goals, that I made an effort and a point of doubling down on my relationships, finding the ones that matter and investing more there. And I did that, and you guys saw that, yes, I put in a little bit of work even while I was on vacation with my family, and even with hanging out with my aunt and my cousins, my mom and my sisters. It all still played a role in my evolution as a human being, for the fact that as little as you guys saw in the moment of me still putting in the work and hustling, the systems that I put in place, the things that I did prior to that, let me have a few days where I was off the grid for longer periods of time than I've ever been, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and it didn't feel like withdrawal to me. I was able literally to just chill out on the beach for 6-7 hours without feeling the need to actively live do anything in social. And that's huge for me, as a lot of you know. The thing that gave me the comfort level to be able to relax and take that time off, the thing that lets me literally travel and jet around the country once a month to do conferences and networking events. And by the way, like, it's going to get more insane because I'm going to Social Media Marketing World April 17th through 19th. So I'm going to, like, for the first time, fly out to California. I haven't done that before yet. Take a cross-continental flight. I'm going to be out of pocket a lot. And then in May gets, actually, even before the end of that, like, I'm going to dig south after that in Charleston at the end of the month. And then immediately a few weeks later, I'm going to speak at How Design Live. I'm going to MomoCon. And then I think June is Podcast Movement. July is VidCon. Something is probably happening in August. I forget. End of August is DragonCon. And then after that, I think we have Next Gen Summit there. And then Revolve Conference. It's like, see, I already know that aside from December, unless something happens, that I'm traveling at least once a month or twice a month for the remainder of the year. And what lets me do that and be comfortable with that is I'm willing to put in the work ahead of time to leave nothing on the table the entire time that I'm able to be inactive. It means that when I'm doing those things, I'm in a position where I can't take the client calls all the time, or I can't do the consulting, or I can't do the design work, or I can't do the website management, or I can't do the consultation for the brand. It's like, it's all those things. And on top of that, in a lot of cases, I'm not able to produce my regular content, which is why I batch shoot, batch edit everything. That's why I put in that hustle. That's why the next emails for the Create Awesome newsletter for the remainder of April have already been written. They've already been scheduled. It's already been planned. I sat down this week having done the flight, and I actually started the second semester content of the YouTube free training course for growing a small YouTube channel. I even made 2 more email lead magnets for that. And before this video is released, I probably will have shot my next 6 videos for the channel plus my next 4 sponsor videos. So that's just a little bit of context for you in like the actual work mode that I live in day to day. That is part of my hustle lifestyle, my hustle culture. That's what it's about, is that I legitimately live this way, and it's almost every single day. But you know what? I still, I enjoy the heck out of it because I'm doing what I love, but also I still make time and I still talk to my best friends in the whole world almost every single day. And a lot of times I actually can take an hour or 2 hours out of my day with nobody to tell me to do anything else, and I can do whatever I want. And a lot of times I actually do, beyond the work. I'm able to do a lot of stuff personally for my art. Like earlier today, I was able to kill about maybe 2.5 hours at the movies, and it didn't interrupt anything I did. I still knocked out the 10 big things on my to-do list today. So, I mean, that matters. It's all a matter of putting yourself in a position to win in that way. So, entrepreneurs, my friends out there in the interwebs, hustle is not just a word. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's a matter of really just having perspective. It's a matter of understanding what you want and having the willpower to do the work necessary to attain and to achieve it. And I think that a lot of people are unnecessarily afraid and scared of that, because even though I'm doing the hardest work that I've ever done in my life, I have more joy, more satisfaction, more control, more power, more freedom than I've ever had in my life. And by the way, in 2017, I'm probably going to take about 6 weeks of vacation throughout the year, something that people not working as hard are going to probably not be able to be in a position to do. That's what I'm going to be able to buy back for myself through hard work. And I have a lot of elaborate plans that are going to allow for that. And we'll get into that probably in another video in the series, and I'll show you some behind the scenes inner workings of that, like you got to take a peek at my whiteboard, and you'll see what that's about. But interestingly, earlier today during the filming, I was thinking about a friend of mine who's very much in the hustle culture herself, Corey, and she's doing like a tremendous job on her hustle and her grind. But it also reminded me that to be able to do that kind of stuff, you need the right support systems in your life. It might be mentors, it might be advisors, like how I'm an advisor to her on her business. It might be your business partners, but a lot of times it's usually your friends and family. So in the course of your hustle, do not neglect your friends and your family. That's something that I had to learn over the past couple of years, how to balance that out. It's something that I still am working at in perfecting and improving. I'll probably never get it 100% right because I don't think you can. And I think it's going to shift and it's going to always change. It's going to be different. You're going to grow as a human being. Your needs are going to change. Their needs are going to change. It's whatever. But I'm very confident that I'm better at it today than I was yesterday. And so, my friends, that's what I want to leave you with is hustle hard, but be good human beings, be good to the people in your life, and try to honor your word whenever possible. Ideally, 90% of the time is a really good, bar to set for that. If you can do better, then do better. But, that's kind of where I think we will leave it. So, stay safe, everybody. Keep working hard. And as always, create something awesome today.